Happy Independence Day. It's July 4th. We did our first Mass this morning at 10 o'clock, a Mass, as I called it a few weeks ago, of lamentation. It was essentially a Mass for All Souls Day, where we prayed for the dead, people who have died of the virus all over the world, the people who grieved them, and the people who took care of them. I just felt it was important to put that in context, that this is complicated and for all of us, but for some more complicated than others. And still, tragically, numbers of people all over Asia and Latin America, and God only knows what's going to come yet in our own country in terms of death because of this virus. But we can try and take it one day at a time or 1 hour at a time and not get ahead of ourselves. The Mass wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Less than half the people invited came, which I suspect is going to be the trend. I suspect that people are more wary because of what's happening in Arizona and California. But we'll see how that goes. We do have 4 o'clock Mass this afternoon and then 10:30 Mass tomorrow morning. Adam White, the young Adam White in our music ministry, recorded the 10 o'clock Mass today and will record the 4 and 10:30, and if he thinks they're good enough, he'll post them online and you can watch them and see what it's like. If we follow the same trend as other parishes, I suspect that by at least 2 weeks from now, you won't have to be invited. You can just come. You have to observe social distancing and be checked in and all those sorts of things, but you won't have to be invited. You can come to either 4 o'clock Mass or 10:30 Mass and sit in the designated seating areas, which will be pointed out to you when you get to the church. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's in my homily this morning, and I've said this in some of the posts, I wish that our church had pushed pause and taken the opportunity, or at least some of the time that this opportunity presents us with, to say, well, what is it that we think is so important to give to people, to offer to people? What is it about Christ's teaching, or the mystery of Christ's paschal mystery, that we believe to be so crucial and essential to human life? What is that if we had taken the time to do a thinking and consultation and dialogue, conversation with people, rather than rush to get back to what we did, figure out what it is that we do that matters, because whether we like it or not, lots and lots of people are doing exactly that now. They're deciding what matters about this. Some people already decided they get along perfectly fine without going to Mass on Sunday. And if we're convinced that we have something that's essential and necessary, as I believe we do, but we could have taken the time to figure out perhaps how to offer that better, to market it more meaningfully, to do it more convincingly, to be less wrapped up in trying to police people's sexual behavior and all kinds of blends of partisan politics and American Christianity. If we'd gotten out of that kind of thing and become more intentional about probing and plumbing the gospel in our Catholic Christian tradition, I think we would have benefited from that in the long run. This return to what we did is a short-term solution, because I don't think that everybody's going to come back. I mean, lots of people will never be back, just simply because it doesn't matter for them anymore. I think going forward, it's going to be crucial for us to be sensitive to the metaphysical and transcendent requests that people make of us. I think that wisdom would indicate that if someone wants to be married in our church, we don't apply a one-size-fits-all criteria. And when people bring babies to be baptized, we don't. It would be foolish to come up with some silly objective policies that we think are important. And I just think that's going to be really important. And funerals, I mean, we have 3 funerals this week, and they're going to be very different, but we need to be convincing in those sacramental moments that what we're offering, we really believe, and we really want to help encounter with the people that ask for those sacraments and for funerals. We want to be with them in the search or the quest we have for mystery, the cocksure confidence that some people in my profession have about what it is that we do and don't do is not going to serve us well, I don't think. I think we need to be very sensitive to the movements of the Spirit and not dismiss people simply because they don't conform to some of the preordained categories that we believe to be necessary. Anyway, I hope as the day goes forward you enjoy it. And it's a day to think kind of seriously about not just the church, but the state that we live in. What does independence mean? What are the obligations? What are the privileges? What are the responsibilities that come with attempting to live in a free society? Becoming a little more circumspect, I think, is what's going to be needed. But that's just me. Peace be with you.